So I had a couple of people comment on some of my Don't Mess With X videos saying, what would be good is if you got together a team which has just a bunch of these Pokemon together and tried using them in a match. And I sort of inadvertently did it here. I mean, the 4 sweepers on this team are ones which have been in my Do Not Mess With This Pokemon video, i.e. Monferno, Tropius, Fracture, even though this was before the Fracture sweep. And the last one is Girafarig, but yeah, pretty interesting game. It is against BlastFlosion. I don't know if I've said that already. He leads off with Chinchino as I lead with Tropius. I was kind of hoping he would lead off with Probopass because this does counter Probopass really well. Now he's going to U-turn here. I don't know if he's predicting the switch or not because I reckon a Tail Slap probably would have killed me, which makes me question as to why I actually bothered staying in, but whatever, it works out. In comes Nigel Thornberry here with his huge mustache. I have Earthquake, which kind of comes into play here. That's why I led off in the first place. Now, a +1 Earthquake is definitely going to bring it down to his Sturdy, and, you know, if he has T-Wave or Toxic or whatever, not really too big a deal because I do have the Lumberry. Now, obviously, going to break out of Paralysis, and he didn't go for Stealth Rocks, which is absolutely fine by me. I mean, I have Pineco to Rapid Spin them away, but I still have a couple weeks to Stealth Rock, so to get Probopass out the way early on is definitely a plus. So now he's going to go ahead and bring out his Superior, which, to my surprise, is actually still faster than Tropius with a +1. Actually, no, that's not to my surprise. Tropius has no speed at all, but hey, it does mean that because he is a substitute set with probably Calm Mind, Hidden Power, and Giga Drain, it does mean that if I go for Fly, he then sees that and then can go for Sub, obviously, and then attack me next turn, so it's definitely not a good situation for me to be in. So I kind of figure, okay, Tropius is definitely not going to do much good here. I may as well just let it die, because I don't want him getting a free sub. I assume I went for Seed Bomb, hoping it would break the sub anyway. So I let Tropius die. I thought, okay, fine. He did his job, he got rid of Probopass. That is more than good enough, in my opinion. So now I bring in Pineco, and I go for Gyro Ball on the first turn just to scout for the Taunt, which he might have. And I kind of figure, okay, if he's going to Sub-Seed me, I may as well take the chance to get up my spikes while I can. Because there's not really too much that Superior can do to kill Pineco. I mean, I think the hidden power he had was Ice, because it's not super effective against Pineco. Normally you'd expect either Ice, Fire, or Rock on Superior, and I think in this case it is Ice. Which leads me to question why Tropius actually survived one. That was a bit confusing, but yep, gonna bring in Girafarig now, and this is where he discovers that Girafarig gets Sap Sipper from the Dream World. Very useful ability, not so much if you're having it as a special attacker, as opposed to Stantler, which probably would be a physical attacker. Did I say special? Yeah, if Girafarig is normally the special one, Stantler's normally the physical one, but the great thing is you do get the immunity to any grass-type move, so that includes, you know, obviously offensive moves, plus Leech Seed, plus Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, all that kind of stuff, so it's really handy. So I'm now going to switch out into my Roy Jones here, figuring he'd want to switch to something or other. Now, bringing in a Dragon against an Ice type doesn't seem like the best of ideas, but apparently in my head this was a good idea at the time. And like I said in one of my previous battles, this was when I was kind of fixated on the idea of having some kind of Fracture sweep. Look at him, look at Fracture's face. He's a dragon with an axe through his face. How is that not badass? I figure, okay, I want to get some kind of Fracture sweep at some point, and I thought I may as well try it now. I mean, I can take out the Lapras, assuming he doesn't have Ice Shard, and then if I outspeed Superior, which I might do because I think a +1 Fracture is faster than a +1 Tropius, which it is, I can maybe take out Superior and maybe go for a sweep from there. However, what happens here is he lives and goes for Hidden Power. That was super effective, actually. Yeah, so that does actually confirm that it was Ice and not Dragon, I guess would be the only other possibility. But then it was super effective against Tropius. It's Ice. I'm just confirming it's Ice, basically. So now I bring in Monferno, and because he is a sub-seeding set with HP Ice, Giga Drain, the best he can do to me is Leech Seed, and I'm not really too worried about that. I can set up a nasty plot because Coco is definitely plotting many nasty things to do to Superior. I have the Flamethrower, I have Vacuum Wave, I have HP Grass, I can do whatever I feel like at this point, hopefully. And I'm kind of glad he did switch into Simisear here because I doubt I could kill it with a single Vacuum Wave. But because I do get a Flamethrower off there on the switch, which normally would be a good switch into Monferno, I have to admit, but I guess he didn't know what to expect from my set. But I go for a Vacuum Wave, that's going to finish him off, and because obviously he's dead, no Leech Seed sapping for me. Golurk comes in, and Golurk, of course, unless it is Choice Scarfed, is definitely not going to outspeed a Monferno. I go for an HP Grass because it is slightly more powerful than Flamethrower. It is kind of redundant in a lot of situations, but it is handy against stuff like... I think I put it on there for when Quagsire was still NU, and it was great just for taking out... Like, an unboosted HP Grass would take out Quagsire. It was still pretty useful, but... Go for a Vacuum Wave, take out the Superior. Now Chinchino comes in. Gonna take a bit of a battering from the spikes, which might have helped actually, because Vacuum Wave is very weak, as you probably all know. So Chinchino, the beautiful chinchilla, is unfortunately gonna go down. But Monferno has just confirmed his place on my team and shows us all what a special sweeper can do with a nasty plot up. So that will be a 2-0, I think. Frillish and Monferno, I think I had left. But yeah, it was a pretty close game. Very interesting indeed. And if you guys liked it, don't forget to subscribe to see more. And with that being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.